Jey Uso to dethrone Seth Rollins. Superstars who can stand up to the Judgment Day on WWE Raw tonight. Important WWE name doesn't want CM Punk to return to WWE. CM Punk pays tribute to Roman Reigns at AEW All In. John Cena's reaction to being called the greatest of all time. Solo Sikoa brutally attacked. WWE officially changes Jey Uso's status after Payback return ahead of Raw. Let's jump right into it. Superstars who can stand up to the Judgment Day on WWE Raw tonight. This past weekend at WWE Payback, the Judgment Day's hold over the company grew even stronger as Finn Balor and Damian Priest won the undisputed tag team titles from Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. As well as Tag Gold, the faction is draped in accolade, with Rhea Ripley holding the Women's World title, Dominic Mysterio the NXT North American Championship, and Damian Priest, also the current Mr. Money in the Bank. It is fair to say that the Judgment Day runs both Monday Night Raw and WWE today. However, with Raw set to take place tonight, we are going to take a look at 5 stars who can challenge the villainous faction. Number 5. Cody Rhodes becomes Judgment Day's nightmare. One star who has been looking to get one over on the Judgment Day in recent weeks is Cody Rhodes, with him joining forces with Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens on Raw in various tag team matches. Currently, the American Nightmare has no real rivalry, with him appearing as a guest on the Grayson Waller Effect this past Saturday at Payback. If Rhodes does indeed go after Balor and the rest of his group, he may be the strongest challenger to the faction's reign of terror for quite some time. Number 4. WWE Raw's newest star goes after its biggest group. During the Grayson Waller Effect this weekend, Cody Rhodes introduced the newest member of Monday Night Raw, Jey Uso. The former tag team champion has been estranged in recent weeks after he quit SmackDown and left the bloodline and seemingly WWE. Now on Raw on his own as a main event single star, Jey Uso is looking to carve out his own story for the first time in his WWE career without his brother Jimmy or his cousin Roman Reigns by his side. With no act on the red brand bigger than the Judgment Day, Jey Uso would be wise to go after them in order to show to his family that he can handle some of the biggest names in the business on his own. Number 3. Becky Lynch goes for gold. At Payback, Becky Lynch finally put the nail in the coffin of her intense rivalry with the WWE Hall of Famer Trish Stratus, with the Irish woman defeating the legend in a highly entertaining steel cage match. With Stratus seemingly in the rearview mirror, Becky may be set to go after a championship that she has yet to win, that being the Women's World Championship, and his holder Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley is undeniably the biggest star in women's wrestling today since her rise to the top. An opponent that she has yet to tick off her list is the man herself. Number 2. Rhea Ripley faces an old foe. Another potential challenger for the Eradicator is the recently improved and repackaged Shayna Baszler. The former women's tag team champion vanquished her old teammate Ronda Rousey last month at SummerSlam, effectively proving that she can hang on her own. Since moving up to the main roster in 2020, Shayna Baszler has yet to capture a singles title. Therefore, going after the Women's World title seems like a logical move. Rhea Ripley and Shayna Baszler are certainly no strangers to one another, with the duo having faced off in late 2019 for the NXT Women's Championship, a match that the Australian won in incredible fashion. Number 1. A reformed duo goes after the tag titles. In recent weeks, Tommaso Ciampa has been searching for his old tag team partner, Johnny Gargano. Known as DIY, the duo were part of some of WWE's most entertaining matches in recent years, facing off and defeating current AEW tag team champions FTR during their time in NXT. With both men now on the main roster and with seemingly little to do as single stars, a potential DIY reunion on Monday Night Raw may soon be on the cards. If Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa do indeed reunite, then there would be no better impression that they can make on the WWE universe than to go for Finn Balor and Damian Priest and win the undisputed tag team belts. Speaking to Catch Club, Johnny Gargano was asked about him and Ciampa potentially reuniting on WWE's main roster. You never know. I think as long as me and Tommaso Ciampa are in the same company or in wrestling in general, we'll always be linked together, Gargano said. There's always that idea of what would happen if DIY was on Raw or SmackDown and the dream matches that could come of that. Important WWE name doesn't want CM Punk to return to WWE. It looks like a significant name in WWE isn't a fan of the idea of CM Punk being brought back to the company. WWE hired Rob Fee as the director of long-term creative in late 2022. He has written several major comic books in the past, including The Avengers and Spider-Man. Rob Fee is quite active on Twitter. He recently liked an interesting tweet. Shortly after CM Punk's AEW termination, Wrestling News asked fans if WWE should bring him back. A Twitter handle replied with a simple no, and Fee liked the post. Earlier this year, WWE superstar Seth Rollins was interviewed by Nick Hossman, and the former Shield member had a lot to say about CM Punk. Rollins apparently isn't a fan of Punk and made it clear that he doesn't want to see him back in WWE. Here's what he said: "Stay away, you cancer. Get away from me forever. I don't like Phil Punk. He's a jerk." Well, did we just figure that out? Everybody in the room is like, oh no, dude, did he just say that? Yeah, no, he's a jerk, come on. We figured it out over there, we knew it over here. I don't want him back. Could be something else. Bye bye, bye bye. bye, see you later. Punk feuded with The Shield back in 2013-14. He fought the Hounds of Justice at the TLC 2013 event and defeated them in a 3-on-1 handicap match. The Second City Saint quit WWE mere weeks later on the road to WrestleMania XXX. It has been more than 9 years since Punk left the promotion. What do you think? Would you like to see CM Punk back in WWE? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. CM Punk pays tribute to Roman Reigns at AEW All In. CM Punk took on Samoa Joe at AEW All In on August 27, 2023. The match was to decide the real AEW World Champion. It so happened that Punk returned to AEW following his injury with the real championship belt. He claimed that he was the true winner of the belt, considering he had to vacate the position and wasn't ever defeated for the title. At AEW All In, Samoa Joe tried to step up to the challenge but failed to defeat CM Punk. After the match, Punk held the championship over his shoulder with the face of the title hanging behind his back as he walked out of the arena. Additionally, he held his arm up in the air, the index finger pointing upward. The manner struck many online as the gesture was similar to that of Roman Reigns, the undisputed WWE Universal Champion. It is not known why Punk chose to walk out in the manner that he did. It could have been a tribute to Roman Reigns, who has been the face of WWE for so long and is enjoying a 3-year run with the Universal title. However, some conspiracy theories have propagated that this was an indication of Punk joining WWE and a hint about what was coming next for the star. During All in 2023, CM Punk reportedly had a backstage altercation with Jack Perry. The situation seemingly got out of hand, and AEW president Tony Khan was caught in the middle. In fact, Punk reportedly almost lunged at Tony Khan, further aggravating the matter. On September 2, AEW announced that they had parted ways with the former world champion and that his contract would be terminated immediately. On the other hand, Punk was reportedly already frustrated with the company for other reasons. AEW released an official announcement about CM Punk's termination along with Tony Khan's statement about the same. Furthermore, Punk has been removed from the company's official roster. Now the question that has been occupying everyone's mind is whether Punk's gesture at all and was merely a coincidence or a hint at his future. The answers will only reveal itself with time. John Cena's reaction to being called the greatest of all time. WWE superstar John Cena recently made a stunning return during last week's episode of SmackDown. The following night, he received a special introduction from ring announcer Mike Rome at the Payback Premium Live event. It was reported last week that the 16-time world champion would appear on the company's programming for 7 consecutive weeks. He is also scheduled to be part of Superstar Spectacle 2023 in India on September 8. Last Friday, Cena was announced as the special host of the recently concluded WWE Payback event. During the show, WWE ring announcer Mike Rome called Cena the greatest of all time while announcing his arrival. The veteran was seemingly surprised by the gesture and acknowledged Rome. Cena later announced that he would be the special guest referee for the singles match between LA Knight and The Miz. The megastar secured an important win on the night. After the contest, Cena shook Knight's hand and endorsed the SmackDown superstar. John Cena is set to team up with Seth Rollins to take on Ludwig Kaiser and Giovanni Vinci of Imperium in a tag team match at Superstar Spectacle later this week. John Cena had a few run-ins with LA Knight during the latter's match with The Miz. However, the 16-time world champion seemingly holds Knight in high regard. In a backstage interview with Kathy Kelly, Cena was asked about his opinion of LA Knight. The veteran said that he had immense respect for the megastar and admired how persistent he had been on his path to glory. I have a tremendous amount of respect for LA Knight because his trajectory is that of persistence. You want to talk about somebody never giving up? I have it on a shirt, and I try to live it every day. He walks that talk, and he does it with his own style, and he's not afraid to be who he is in here in his heart. Knight has become one of the most popular superstars on the roster since reverting to his NXT moniker. It will be interesting to see if he will interact with Cena again in the coming weeks. Do you believe that John Cena is the greatest of all time? Let us know in the comments section below. Solo Sikoa brutally attacked. Though Solo Sikoa has been presented as a virtually unbeatable force of nature in WWE, fans believe there's still a lot of work to be done by the Bloodline member. If the comments to a recent Twitter post are anything to go by, many viewers still don't see the 30-year-old star as a top-tier attraction in the company. Since his debut at Clash at the Castle 2022, Sikoa has maintained a sense of mystique around him as he seldom speaks and lets his actions do the talking. Moreover, the Enforcer rarely loses, having lost only one singles match in his main roster career so far. All of this indicates that WWE is keen on making Solo Sikoa one of the biggest attractions in the company in the coming years. The Bloodline member also won his latest match on last week's episode of SmackDown, where he defeated AJ Styles. A Twitter post asked fans to share their opinions on Sikoa's run so far in the global juggernaut on the occasion of the Enforcer completing a year on the main roster. Most believe that though his stock was on the rise, the former NXT North American champion hasn't wrestled frequently. A few also pointed out that WWE made the wrong decision by having Sikoa lose to Cody Rhodes ahead ahead of WrestleMania 39. A few weeks back on Sportskeda's Writing with Russo, the former WWE writer stated that a match between Reigns and Sikoa must come to fruition soon. Vince Russo explained that the 30-year-old performer must be the last bullet the head of the table goes through before the bloodline saga culminates for good. One guy couldn't beat him alone, the second guy couldn't beat him alone, the third guy couldn't beat him alone. Oh, now all three of you can beat him. Of course you can, because now it's a 3-on-1 situation. They got to be really careful with that, bro, because if you got 3 guys on one side and Roman Reigns and a walrus on the other, now you're bullies. Because if 3 of you guys can't beat him up, you know what I'm saying? That kind of changes the complexity of things, and that's where it's going to get sticky. Right now, the only last bullet in the gun is Solo Sikoa. That's the last bullet, said Russo. With WWE teasing minor tensions between Solo Sikoa and Roman Reigns, it remains to be seen how things turn out in the coming weeks and months. Do you see Solo Sikoa winning a major singles gold in the company by the end of 2023? Sound off in the comments section below. WWE officially changes Jey Uso's status after Payback return ahead of Raw. Jey Uso made a big return at WWE Payback, and now the company appears to have changed his status finally. The week after SummerSlam, there was explosive tension on WWE SmackDown. Jimmy Uso had come out to answer for betraying his brother and helping Roman Reigns, but Jey was having none of it. After listening to his brother's reasons, he would take out both Solo Sikoa and Roman Reigns. While it appeared that he was going to forgive his brother, he took him out as well. The star then turned to the camera to say that he was done with the bloodline and he was quitting SmackDown and WWE. It appears that his declaration covered SmackDown, but he's back in the company. He appeared on Payback this week, with Cody Rhodes saying that he was coming to Raw. WWE has now officially confirmed Jey Uso's status on its website. Whereas before, he had been moved to the alumni page after he quit, now the star has been moved to the Raw roster page. It remains to be seen how the rest of the bloodline members react to Jey Uso's move now that it has happened. The star super kicked Grayson Waller, and the two could end up confronting each other during Raw this week. Jey Uso to dethrone Seth Rollins. After a grueling match at Payback, Seth Rollins successfully defended his World Heavyweight Championship against Shinsuke Nakamura. Despite securing a pinfall victory, the Visionary was assaulted by the King of Strong Style post-match, off-air at Payback 2023. Despite incorporating the real-life injury angle of Rollins, Nakamura wasn't able to dethrone the Visionary. However, now it seems like Raw's newest member, Jey Uso, could be the one to dethrone Seth Rollins. For those unaware, Cody Rhodes appeared as a special guest on the Grayson Waller Effect at Payback 2023. During his appearance, the American Nightmare revealed that Raw is welcoming its newest member in the form of Jey Uso. This follows the storyline angle where the former right-hand man quit SmackDown and WWE. The potential reason behind Jey being the one to dethrone the Visionary could be to delay the anticipated clash between Jimmy and Jey Uso. By keeping the Samoan twins in different brands, it's seemingly evident that WWE wants to extend the feud between these two. Moreover, there were earlier reports that the company aims to stage its clash at WrestleMania 40, which is in April next year. So in the meantime, the Stanford-based promotion still intends to book Jey strongly to continue building hype around him. Also, the current scenario appears to be a fitting opportunity for WWE to give Jey Uso a world title run, given that both the Samoan twins are now exclusively working on different brands. Having Jey Uso as World Heavyweight Champion will undoubtedly inject fresh excitement into Monday Night Raw. Furthermore, if this scenario unfolds in the coming months, the clash between Jimmy and Jey at WrestleMania 40 could even become a championship bout. The upcoming edition of the Red brand will serve as the aftermath of Payback 2023. Although Seth Rollins successfully retained his championship on the show, he was still assaulted by Nakamura after the match. This suggests that the feud between these two is likely to continue. The Visionary may call out or confront the King of Strong Style, seeking an explanation for the off-air attack. This confrontation could potentially set up another clash between these two. An ideal location for their rematch could be Fastlane 2023, scheduled for Saturday, October 7th at Gamebridge Fieldhouse in Indianapolis. A rematch between Nakamura and Seth Rollins has the potential to generate significant interest among fans, particularly given the impressive performance of both stars on the show. It will be intriguing to see what WWE has in store for us in the upcoming edition of the Red brand.
I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I got eyes in the back of my head, I'm seeing. Take me